An update on the state of the town, a new life for an old light, and a word of caution for early season boaters on this episode of Barnstable Today. It's Friday, April 20th, 2012. I'm Sarah Colvin. An old light shines like new at Barnstable Municipal Airport. The beacon that used to light the way from atop the former air traffic control tower has been cleaned up and is restored to its original glory. Rick Norca's Chris Daniels and the airport maintenance team worked to refurbish the beacon, which is now on display at the brand new Barnstable Municipal Airport terminal. The terminal itself will be officially dedicated next month. The ceremony celebrating its completion is set for May 18th at 1 p.m. As we know now, the town of Barnstable will not be holding its annual State of the Town address. With the town manager's office in a state of flux, it was decided to hold off on the event this year. However, that doesn't mean it isn't time to take a look and check in on how the town is doing. Town Council President Fred Chirigotis did just that. He gave an impromptu State of the Town on Thursday morning's edition of Barnstable This Morning. Fred congratulated the town's finance team with once again securing a AAA bond rating and went on to praise the many staff and volunteers that work to do the business of Barnstable.
About when I say, you know, the people in the town who do the good work, we have some 41, 2, 3, whatever number of boards and commissions that are staffed by citizen volunteers who do an enormous amount of work for the town of Barnstable at no charge. It is amazing how much work the town of Barnstable gets done on a daily basis by citizens who step up and volunteer. And recently at Citizens Leadership Academy, an individual stepped up and he said, you know, he had moved here from another state, and he said where he was from, you would never get that. The first thing they want to know is how much are you going to pay me? But in Barnstable, people step up and do the work with no expectation of a return and do an excellent job. And we could go through all, you know, zoning board of appeal. We have regulatory boards. We have quasi-judicial boards. We have I'm losing my train of thought, but you know the word we have advisory boards. That was the word, advisory. People who really work hard and look at a whole host of things. One of the boards that we have, advisory boards we have right now, is the Citizens Advisory Commission with regard to Clean Water Initiative. So they're looking at all of the available technologies and resources that we can use to maintain our clean waters and our saltwater aquifers of all sorts. And they've been working on this for a number of years, and they continue to meet with all of the experts and digest all of that information and put it into a form that if you have the time, you can actually study it and read it and understand it. And that's important that the town of Barnstable has that going on at the same time the county is doing it. I understand there's new technology in coming out of Woods Hole. I know that the federal government is paying attention to how important groundwater protection is for not only Cape Cod but the entire country. I see that other towns on the Cape are looking at, I think it was Harwich, where they're talking about the creation of a water district where they don't have any public water, and the problem is that groundwater is becoming contaminated to the point where they need to have a municipal water system. So we're ahead on all of those things. At the same time, we have the Renewable Energy Commission, which is, as we all know, that the contract with CMAS, where we just deposit our solid waste, that contract expires in 2015, and we have two groups, the Citizens Advisory Commission, actually the Renewable Energy Commission, and the Citizens Financial Advisory Commission, working to determine what are all of the available options for the town of Barnstable to continue to dispose of waste at a cost that we can afford. Because we know those costs are going up, you know, partly in conjunction with fuel costs. It's difficult to keep a handle on. So on one group, the Renewable Energy Commission is working at what are all of the available options, and then the Citizens Financial Advisory Group has been working on what are the costs of all of the options. And then we need to put those together to find the best solution for Barnstable. You know, the State of the Town is a good thing to have. It's a really, you know, to look back over the past year and think of all of the things that we've accomplished, and to look forward to all of the things we need to continue to work on this year and into the future. I think when we have a town manager who is appointed and a contract is signed, it'll be easier for that individual to sit down with the council By the way, the council will be meeting soon for strategic planning and goals into the future. We do that on an annual basis, but the town manager does it also. We like to all be on the same page with all of our department heads. So soon, that it continues to evolve. It continues to work. We continue to move in the proper direction, in the right direction, slowly, carefully, patiently. Do things the right way. Make sure you dot all your I's and cross all your T's. And once we get through the town manager process, it'll be much easier to have somebody step back and say, okay, this is what we've accomplished and this is where we're headed.
It is springtime here in Barnstable, and while the weather is getting warmer, the water is still very cold. Assistant Harbor Master Joe Gibbs says as crews prepare the town's marinas for the busy summer season, it's a good idea to remain safe if you're heading out on the water this time of year.
We always encourage everybody at all times to wear a life jacket or a personal flotation device. When it does come to the canoes and the kayaks, this time of the year, it's actually a regulation, and it's required that you wear them. For canoes and kayaks, from September 15th until May 15th, it's required anytime you're underway to actually have that life jacket on. We further encourage everybody, at all times to wear life jackets. It's the water temperature is very cold, and it can knock the wind out of you if you fall in. We just recently had putting in some of the floats. One of the folks had fallen in, and what an experience, and that was right at the docks.
Yikes!
So safety's paramount, and the one thing this time of the year, there's not a lot of other people out there to assist. A lot of times in the summer, there will be so many people out there that everybody's looking out for each other. This time of year, there's less of that. So it's very important that people, maintain their own safety as much as absolutely possible.
Absolutely, and especially I think sometimes kayaking, you might go out just on your own, and this time of year, as you mentioned, not a lot of other people out there on the waters. So it's certainly a good idea to wear the PFD, and as you said, it's required through May 15th to do that if you're on a kayak.
Yeah, and it's too, even with the canoes and the kayaks, it's always nice to let somebody know where you're going to. So in the event that you don't come home at a certain time that you may have arranged, that somebody knows where to look for you.
Exactly, and that's also a great piece of advice, Joe. Not only let people know where you're going, but how long you expect to be gone. So say you're going to go out for a 2-hour canoe ride or kayak ride, just let someone know you're going out when you hope to be back so they can check on you and make sure that you are back at the appointed time.
Absolutely. Any
other safety tips you have for early season boaters, Joe?
I would just say it is the season. Everybody's getting ready. All our floats are in at the boat ramps. So we've seen some increased activity. The fishermen will be out. Just good safety precautions. When people put their boats in for the season, they should be checking to make sure everything's up to date, that their flares are up to date, that are currently in. They're usually a 2 to 3 year window that they're good for. That all your required safety equipment, whether it's flares, sound signals, whistles, horns, that your lights work. It's a great time. People are cracking the covers off of their boats. But we can't stress enough to have all that safety equipment. Hopefully you will never need it, but you want it to be there if you do.
Today's weather forecast did call for sun, but that's expected to change over the weekend. Partly cloudy skies tonight, becoming overcast, temps in the low 50s. For Saturday, cloudy skies to start the day, partly cloudy for the afternoon, temps in the low 60s. For Sunday, cloudy with periods of rain, a little cooler Sunday, temperatures in the mid 50s. With Barnstable Today, I'm Sarah Colvin.